What happens to a mortgage in a divorce? The simplest answer is nothing. Did you know that a mortgage company does not have to recognize or automatically take off the ex-spouse just because there's a divorce decree? That's right, you heard me. The mortgage companies don't care if you're not married anymore. So I've got some simple ways that I'm going to coach you through how to get your ex off the loan so that they can be on their way and you are the only one in title. So, first and least expensive way to keep your original loan intact is to call the mortgage servicer where you pay your loan. So, I do want to preface this by saying that they don't have to take the X off automatically. There are some lenders that are nicer than others, and they will do it for you, which is great. They'll say, send me your divorce decree. We will, it's almost like deleting, we will get this other person off of the loan. That is the least expensive way. I don't think that there's a fee, but you'll just have to ask them and do whatever they say. And that would keep the original loan, like I said, intact. Now, you want to check with your attorney to make sure that they also file. There's a form that can be filed and recorded that releases the title from the property as well for that ex-spouse. So you want to talk to your attorney about that. It's a real simple form that can be signed. Now, if your lender says, no, we don't do that, which they might, go to option number 2, and you will have to refinance the loan. I know you don't want to get rid of your low rate, but that's the only way you can do it. So you'll get a brand new loan. You can use any lender that you want, and it's called refinancing. So you will have to qualify with whoever's staying in the home. You'll have to qualify with your income, your credit, just like anyone would on a refinance. Now, if you're afraid that your income isn't enough to qualify, you are allowed to have a co-signer that doesn't live in the home in most cases. So like a family member, close relation. So talk to the lender about that. So again, this would be paying off your existing mortgage, creating a brand new mortgage at whatever today's rates are with a brand new payment, and that's option number 2. Now, there is a way that the ex can get their equity out of the loan. Now, all divorces are worded differently, so depending on what your agreement was in the divorce decree, your ex might want their portion of the equity. They go off into the sunset, right? So whatever you agreed to, it could be a percentage, it could be a flat amount, whatever that amount is, will be added on to the current loan balance, and then you'll refinance at that amount, and your payment will be calculated on that higher loan amount. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say that your house is worth $500,000, that there's a current market appraisal that's done and it's worth $500,000. And let's say that your loan is $300,000. So 500,000 minus 300 is 200,000. So if you split that in half, there's 2 people. Your ex has 100,000 equity and you have $100,000 of equity. So the spouse is like, hey, I want my 100,000. So that 100,000, we would add it on to the existing loan of 300. So the new loan that you would refinance would be 400,000. And then at that closing, the ex is going to be paid their $100,000. Okay. We actually did have someone that did that just last week. I signed someone up to do that. And they actually at the same time took a little bit of extra equity out because they wanted to, number 1, pay off the ex, and number 2, they wanted some money for improvements and credit card payoff and some other things. So there's lots of creative things that you can do. If you think this might apply to you, ask me some questions down below. I'd love to hear them. Comment. And actually, I'd love to hear if you are one of the lucky ones who had your lender say, yeah, I'll remove the X, and you didn't have to refinance. That would be an amazing story. Thanks for tuning in. I release videos every single week. Stay tuned. Talk to you soon.